Welcome to the CompTIA A+ 220-1101 or Core 1 exam. This is Objective 3.1, PATA. If you're working with some legacy equipment, you may find storage devices inside of those computers that are connected with a ribbon cable just like this one. This is a connectivity called PATA, or the Parallel Advanced Technology Attachment. You might also see this referred to as Parallel ATA or simply ATA. The name AT comes from one of the original PCs created by IBM, which was the PC-AT, and that AT attachment standard was the one used to connect drives within that system. There have been a number of different versions of PATA through the years, and originally we didn't even call it PATA. We called it IDE, or Integrated Drives Electronics. This was a name created by the hard drive manufacturer Western Digital. They even had an updated version of IDE called Enhanced IDE or eIDE. Through the years, the speeds of PATA continue to improve, and you can find versions of PATA that range from 16 megabytes per second through 133 megabytes per second as a total throughput. There are also other drives that can connect to PATA. Not just hard drives, you may even find CD-ROMs, DVD-ROMs. They have PATA connections on those as well. So although you may find motherboards and other equipment that are referring to an ATA drive or an IDE connection, today we refer to these as parallel ATA or PATA. Here's an image of two different types of PATA cables. The one on the left is a 40-wire PATA cable, and the other one is an 80-wire PATA cable. With both of these cables, there's a connection on one end that is 40 pins for the motherboard, and the other pins connecting to the devices are 40-pin connectors as well. On the 40-wire cable, the first device that you connect to is the device 0 in the PATA standard. And the device connecting to the other one would have an ID of 1 or 2 or 3 and so on. Those two are swapped on the 80-wire cable. Device 1 is the first interface on the cable, and device 0 is at the end. 40-wire cable was originally the PATA cable, and it increased the speeds of PATA. We needed some way to decrease the amount of crosstalk between all these wires, so we doubled the amount of wires to 80 to resolve that crosstalk issue. The PATA connector is also quite large relatively to SATA connectors. You might be already familiar with the motherboard has a PATA connector right at the bottom. You can see this blue one right here, and it's quite large compared to other connectors. If we take a closer look, we can see all 40 pins inside of the connector, and you'll notice that one of the pins is missing. That's because the 40-pin connector is symmetrical. So that missing pin allows us to properly orient the cable into the right format when we're plugging it in so we don't make a mistake. If you look at the end of the cables, you'll see how this works. There's a notch built into the PATA cable, and you can see all of the PATA connectors that we are missing, that hole, and in this connection so that you possibly couldn't plug it in the wrong way. The connector that you would find on a storage device is identical to the connector that you would find on a motherboard. It's a 40-pin symmetrical connector. You can see the notch in the bottom and the missing pin on the right in the middle of the PATA connector. As I mentioned earlier, PATA is a legacy technology. It's not one you'd commonly find in our newer systems. But if you do run into one of these 40-pin ribbon cables, then it's probably a PATA device that you're working with. Next to this PATA device is a SATA data cable. And you can see that it's much, much smaller compared to this very large ribbon next to it. It takes up a lot less space and it's a lot more efficient. Well, we're at the end of PATA in the 3.1 objective. So, what does PATA stand for? A. Parallel Automatic Technology Attachment. B. Parallel Advanced Technology Attachment. C, parallel adaptable technology attachment, or D, parallel agile technology attachment? And the answer is B, parallel advanced technology attachment. Thank you for watching.